Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kamanika Mohottike and I'm an artist. Today I'm going to talk to you about monochrome portraits. I really enjoy doing black and white portraits because it helps me to get the values correct, and also the black and white gradient gives me an understanding of that a bit better. So since I'm doing this 100 heads project, I thought it's a good opportunity for me to practice values using charcoal this time. I've done a lot of monochrome studies over the years, but usually I use multiple media. For example, I use Conte to create really dark black areas. So this time I challenge myself just to use a single charcoal pencil. So for that I'm using the Derwent medium charcoal pencil, and I'm going to create a portrait of William Wallace from the movie Braveheart. So portrait of Mel Gibson from this movie, because that movie recently inspired me on my road trip to Scotland and my own William Wallace trail. So let's learn about charcoal drawings, and also let's learn about monochrome drawings in this video. I started my art journey with graphite and charcoal pencils. In the 100 Heads project I did in 2017, I used a lot of other mediums as well as pencils. But this is a collection of some of the graphite and charcoal drawings I did then. After working on the colored pencils for such a long time, I felt like going back to the basics with graphite as well as charcoal. So using charcoal, the most important thing is value, getting the values correct to create the light and darks, and also the three-dimensional effect of the portraits. So that's what I'm going to do with this new project today. I'm going to just focus on charcoal, and using charcoal I'm going to create the portrait and focus mainly on the values of the original reference photo. So here I have the line drawing, and I decided to use the grid method for this portrait. When I am doing portrait, I use both freehand as well as the grid method. You can also use a light box or tracing. I know some of the artists are very against anything except freehand when it comes to portraits, but honestly, in my portraits, I use both freehand as well as grid method, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. In my Patreon tutorials, I give a line drawing for the students to trace and start. If I had a light box, I probably will use that too. Getting an accurate line drawing is very important. How you get it doesn't really bother me. What matters is the building up of the artwork after that, and that is the most time-consuming part of a painting too. Building layer after layer, whether you're using colored pencils or charcoal, just to get that 3D effect takes a lot of time. So if using the grid method helps you, then so be it. Even Renaissance masters like Leonardo da Vinci used the grid method. So if it's good enough for Da Vinci, who am I to argue? It's good enough for me. When it comes to charcoal pencils, there is compressed charcoal, and also for the charcoal pencils there are 3 different levels of hardness: soft, medium and hard. The soft version leaves the darkest line and the hard leaves the lightest line, and in this drawing I'm using the medium charcoal pencil. Later on in another video I will explain to you about the different kinds of charcoal pencils. And then when you are blending charcoal, you can use a lot of tools, anything except the finger, because finger has the body oil and also sweat, which makes the painting a little bit sticky. Here for blending I'm using the paper stump as well as an eyeshadow applicator, which I have kept separately for my charcoal work, as well as the soft knittable eraser as well. I hope you enjoy watching this video. This is a basic introduction to charcoal, and I will see you again in another video.